Well, welcome back to complete our discussion talking about gang legislation and the 100 Black Men of Tulsa. Joining me again is Marvin Blades, president of the 100 Black Men of Tulsa and Tulsa Public Schools Campus Police Department. Let's jump in here. In our last segment, I want to focus on interventions because we need to understand and be aware of what kinds of things could help us with gang-related activity, or to steer youth from it, or to get youth out of it. Tell me a little bit about interventions.
Well, 100 Black Men of Tulsa, we do direct interventions. We met with groups as small as one child and a parent to as large as a group of 50. And basically what we bring to them is information that we've gained over the years that we feel works. That's why we push education and the mentoring program so strongly. We feel that a lot of these young people, because they don't have the direction that kids that come from functional families have, that they can use intervention or interdiction of people that have been successful.
So do you bring within that former gang members? I know in the past we've done gang presentations and on shows, and we've had Vincent and Robini, former gang members of opposing gangs, that come and talk, and I know they travel with you as well as others. So do you still introduce former gang members to them that really tell them exactly, as I say, what's up?
Oh yes, we still use Robini and Vince. As a matter of fact, as late as last week, we did too. We also use federal and local law enforcement, so they can understand the penalties if you get caught up in this. Along with Vince and Robini, we also use gang members from other sets. And we use men and women that have shown us a history that they're actually through with the activity. We found in the past, simply because you come up and say that you don't do this anymore, doesn't necessarily be the truth. So we generally give you a little bit of time to, particularly if you just got out of the penitentiary, to see where you're at and what you're doing before we allow you to participate.
Now, how long are these interventions? Is this something where it's every day for a week or 2 weeks, or do you kind of tailor it to where the child is? And tell me about that, as well as how young have you done an intervention? Because we're seeing some kids younger and younger entering into gang activity.
Yeah, we tailor the intervention to the situation where the child comes from. A lot of times we have grandparents, because a lot of young people have parents that are in the penitentiary, and they're living with their grandparents or aunts and uncles, and they bring them to us as young as, the youngest we've ever done was an 8-year-old.
Oh my goodness.
And this 8-year-old has a father that's been banging for years, and the father's in the penitentiary, and he's being raised by his grandparents. So as young as 7 years old, and as old as 17. But our interventions are intense. Sometimes they're in your face, and we try to bring to them real information. We also have videos that we put together, and actual footage from incidents that happened here in this city.
So can they be interventions going to occur in the evenings, after school, on weekends? I mean, do the kids ever just leave their home and come to a certain setting and they're there intensely for a weekend? Does it work that way as well? Well,
what we do, we try to meet them at a neutral site. Most of the time it's going to be one of the local libraries. It's going to be a place where they're equipped to show videos. And also Dwayne Barnett has an actual drug kit where we got parents and grandparents who don't even know what marijuana looks like. They don't know what crack is. So we can actually show them through some of the information that he have what it actually looks like.
So some of it too is educating the adult caregiver, because there can be things that are happening right around them that they miss because they don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, we've had one of our most recent ones where Vince and Robini basically called a child out, and the mother had no idea that she was buying clothing for him that was causing him problems. She couldn't understand why he's being bullied. He was wearing clothing that was bringing attention to him, but it was clothing that he chose to have her buy for him, and she couldn't understand why. She thought that he was being picked on and bullied, but he intentionally picked clothing that was in opposition to a certain group in the school that he was going to, and it caused problems.
Interesting.
And Rabini and Vince not only educated her to what she was unintentionally doing, but also made the child admit to what he was actually doing, because Mama had no idea.
Interesting. And that, I think, is the value of using former gang members, too, because they often still know what's happening within that community, and when a child's trying to deny, they know, I know you are, and what's set, and that whole kind of thing, too.
Oh, yes.
What has been maybe one of the most profound things of the youth that have gone through this talk about, of what they didn't know? Was it that they didn't understand the penalties that you could get? Did they not understand the misery that this could cause? Did they not understand the killing? I mean, what are some profound things that they came to realize that made them say, I need to stop?
Well, most children that we deal with are visual. That's why the videos and the pictures that we have are so effective. We've had young people who attended 10 funerals, and you're not even 14 years old. And these are funerals that are peers. So we bring to them information that is real, people that they know, people that even their grandparents and their parents know. And we show them not only through real life experience, but through the news and some of the media locally, what can happen, what will happen if you continue doing what you're doing.
Okay. Well, as we begin to wrap up, what would you say that the average citizen could do in relation to this legislation, or in relation to helping with stopping gang activity and changing kids' lives?
Well, the average citizen can first of all, be aware of what young people in their purview are actually doing.
Okay.
You know, if you got a young child that's that you got some influence over, pay close attention to their activities. Know who they hang out with. Know if there's a major change in the way they've been behaving. Like if you go from being an A student to a C- or D student in one semester, there's a reason for it. So pay close attention to that child and their environment.
Okay, and then get involved with the legislation, get information, and talk to your legislator.
Always stay in contact with them. I mean, we live in a democracy, and it only works when you're involved.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Well, that's our show. For Health Alert, I'm Pam Butler. I'd love to hear your comments, questions, or suggestions for future shows. Please write me at Health Alert USA, P.O. Box 50913, Tulsa 74150. Or if you're on the email trail, please email me at healthalert@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit me on YouTube at youtube.com/HealthAlertUSA. Take care, and remember, stay in tune with your community. Find out about legislation that can affect you, your family, and those in your community, and speak out, voice your concerns. Take care. This program would not be possible without the support of OU Physicians in Tulsa.